Good morning, January 22nd, 2018. The snow is gone, but I have waked up with a little case of the sniffles, so bear with me. This video will be slightly different because I'm going to edit in some graphics in post-production. So I'll have this one uploaded later, but this was at the request of my Facebook friend, John. Well, we've met in person, but John Roop and I basically communicate via Facebook. We have met once or twice. And this goes to the Joe Franklin scene of Ghostbusters, because I mentioned the Three Stooges, and I said that was not on the list of prior comedy team ghost-related films that Dan Aykroyd, as Ray Stantz, mentioned to Joe Franklin. And he said, "What's this list? I'd like to see some of these movies." Okay, here we go. We'll discuss this. As scripted, Joe Franklin, who's a real guy, I mean, he was a real New York talk show host. Most people would know him through Billy Crystal's Saturday Night Live impression of him, or his appearance in Ghostbusters. Before he asks Ray about Elvis, he originally said, as you know, in the script, "Every time I hear the name of your company, Ghostbusters, I can't help thinking of that Bob Hope movie." And then Ray was to say, actually, the title of that film was Ghost Breakers. Olsen and Johnson did Ghost Catchers, and the Bowery Boys did Ghost Chasers, Hold That Ghost, Spooks Run Wild, Spookbusters, and Spook Chasers. Now, that did not get shot, according to the book Making Ghostbusters, and as they were discussing it, Dan Aykroyd pointed out that Hold That Ghost was not a Bowery Boys movie, it was actually an Abbott and Costello movie. As I'm looking up what their movie posters look like and everything, I did this a couple years ago, and I've refreshed myself on it for this video. Actually, some of those aren't the Bowery Boys. They're the same actors under the name the East Side Kids. And if we're going to count movies about ghosts by the East Side Kids, they actually skipped one, which was Ghosts on the Loose, and possibly more that I just haven't uncovered yet. So, what's funny to me is the Bowery Boys came right up to the name Ghostbusters without doing, because they did Ghost Chasers, Spookbusters, Spook Chasers. Seems like one more iteration of that would have been, let's put the ghost with the busters, and boom, you got Ghostbusters. So, in the order of their release, though, those films would be Bob Hope's Ghost Breakers, followed by Abbott and Costello's Hold That Ghost, and Spooks Run Wild, both of which were 1941. Ghost Breakers was 1940. Side note, I think Spooks Run Wild was also mentioned in the novelization by Mueller. Something in there about if there was an alternative to an endless matinee of Spooks Run Wild, he couldn't see it. But off the top of my head, I can't tell you the page or anything. We had a discussion about these posters a while back on GB Fans, and somebody said, "Spooks Run Wild, I was expecting a very different movie." Yeah, it does sound like some sort of politically incorrect spring break film. And then you've got Ghosts on the Loose, 1943, Ghost Catchers, 1944, Spookbusters, 1946, Ghost Chasers, 1951, Spook Chasers, 1957. So the dialogue did not have them in sequence from the film. Also, then after that, as scripted, Joe Franklin was to have asked, "Have you seen Elvis, and how is he?" But in the final film, he says, "How is Elvis, and have you seen him lately?" So he kind of tweaked the line. And according to Making Ghostbusters, in one take, Dan Aykroyd replied, "He's lost a lot of weight." Also, just throwing it out there for trivia, which member of the cast of Ghostbusters was actually in attendance at Elvis's funeral? Bill Murray. Thank you for watching.